Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Speak. I am your host, Emily Miller, intuitive guide and healer. All right, so this week we are going to go a little deeper into the creator field to see kind of what it's made of, what is going on inside our creator fields. We have been talking about villain roles and kind of how our energy and what we're sending out creates certain things. So, just as a little recap, our creator field is the energy that we are sending out, and within that energy is our emotions about how we are feeling about ourselves. So, the emotions that we're sending out are the very precise instructions that we are handing to the universe to create all matter in our existence. And by matter, I mean all people, places, situations, circumstances, even our bodies. So that is all of our energy, our creator field, our electromagnetic field. So the energy, the emotions, the energy and motion that we are sending out into the world, that is how everything in our lives is created. It is created by the emotions that we are sending out, that are the beliefs that we are holding about ourselves, and then telling the world how to act and be and show up for us. So, the most important thing about this creator field is that it can be very easily changed and shifted. So, if there are ever things in your life that you are experiencing, whether it be an ache or a pain in the butt human being, or even your like surroundings, your home, your car, your job, whatever these things are, the good news here is that you created them. Also, the bad news. But the great news about that is with having the realization that you created these things, even if you don't love them, is that we can shift them, we can change them, and we can get the things that we do want. So that's the first part to remember, that everything is changeable, everything is malleable, everything can be shifted, and things can be brought into our lives in an instant. It takes no time for life to change. Think about like how quickly things happen in life. You get an email that tells you got the job. You get a phone call that tells you, a grandparent died. You get somebody that knocks on your door and they want to give you $1,000,000. I don't know. That could be possible, right? But life can change in an instant. And knowing that you have created those things that change for you are like, it's the best news in the world, because when you know that you have created one thing, you know that you could create another thing. It gives you that proof, okay, I made this happen, therefore I could make this other really amazing thing happen. So the information that I really, really want for you guys to know today that we're going to talk about is what is in this creator field. How is it that we are creating all of these things that we don't like? So the first thing that we'll go into is limiting beliefs, okay? So I'll break that down for just a little bit so that we can fully understand what those two things are. So a limit is something that you put on yourself that holds it down, that creates resistance, that presses down. Think of we're going to use like a plant analogy here today. So let's think of like a beautiful rose bush, okay? If you let the rose bush grow, you water it, you give it all the things it needs, it's going to flourish. It's going to create the most gorgeous flowers that are full and beautiful and smell amazing. And everybody's going to walk by those roses and they're going to say, oh, I love those roses. They're so gorgeous. What did you do? How did you make them? You guys are going to be the rose, okay? Here. And if you have this beautiful, gorgeous, thriving rose bush and you take a cage and you put this cage around it that is thick and it's heavy and it blocks out all the sunlight and it is pressing on these gorgeous, delicate little petals. Have you ever felt a rose petal before? They're so soft. You put it on your skin and it's lovely. So these roses, we are going to cage them. We're going to put limits on them. We are going to shove them down with this cage that we're putting around it that's blocking out all the good stuff that it needs. It's blocking out all the good energies from the sun, and it's blocking out all of the room for expansion and growth. Let's think of that cage as our limiting beliefs. So it's limiting its full potential. It's limiting its beauty. It's limiting its high frequency vibes. It's limiting all of these things because roses are actually a super high frequency flower, if you didn't know that. That's why people are so attracted to them. So they are just being pushed down, shoved down, shoved down. They're not going to be able to grow anymore. They're not going to be able to thrive. They are not going to create new blooms. They are going to wither. They are going to dry up, and they are going to just die. They are going to suffer. They are going to suffocate. They will not be this gorgeous, beautiful, high frequency flower that Source intended for them to be. So if we have this gorgeous rose bush and we are putting all of these limitations on it, it's not going to be able to thrive. So think about that as we're talking about the limiting beliefs. And then the beliefs part of it is something that's really important to also understand, is that we get beliefs from other people around us, okay? And the first thing I want to say about these other people is that it's not their fault. The people that do these things for us, I'm going to say, not to us, because every time that we discover a limiting belief, it gives us the opportunity for wild expansion, okay? A rose bush that could just go nuts and have all the beautiful blooms it could ever want. So we love, as hard as it is to say, we love these people who put these limitations on us, because in reality, what they're doing is giving us the greatest lessons we could be experiencing in life. So going back to these people who have given us these gorgeous little gifts of limiting beliefs, these people most times at the very beginning of life are going to be parents. These will be the people who are your primary caretakers. So even if you have adoptive parents or you have grandparents that raised you, it doesn't have to be a birth parent who's giving these things to you. It could be any human who is taking care of you, your primary caregiver. And what happens is whenever we are under the care of these people, we look at them as if they have hung the moon. They are the most important people to us in our lives. They are the people who are giving us life. We trust them implicitly. We just adore these humans because they are the ones who are there giving us everything that we could ever need in life. Hopefully, they're giving us food, they're giving us comfort, they're giving us, all of these things. So that's the really amazing part of these caretakers. And then on the other end of this, they're also giving us their limiting beliefs. Because what happens is for humans, we are going to, for all people, we are going to have we have no limiting beliefs, right? We are these little precious babies where everybody's taking care of us, giving us everything that we could ever need, and we don't have to ask for a thing. We are just existing, and people are doting over us and giving us everything. And then as we begin to become older, about 3 years old, whenever you guys start everybody starts communicating, we start learning speech, we start understanding facial expressions, we start understanding how communication really happens, and we start picking up on how other people are feeling, how other people are thinking, and all that. We're very much more connected into that by about that age. 5, it gets bigger. 7, we're like, okay, I understand how mom's feeling. I understand how dad's feeling, or whoever the people are who are caring for you. And we pick up all of those thoughts, feelings, and beliefs of the people who care for us. And so we take on their limiting beliefs. And by 7 to 8 years old, in between that time period, we then take those limiting beliefs on as our own. So these people, unknowingly, but very purposefully by higher self and source, they are giving us their limiting beliefs. Now, we have chosen, our higher self has chosen. We don't really think like, oh, I'm going to choose these really crappy parents because I know that I'm going to get the most life lessons on a human level. But that's what's happening on a soul level. That's what happens from higher self and source. They know exactly who our parents are going to be. They know exactly the lessons we're going to learn from them, or maybe not learn from them, but they know exactly what they're doing. They put these people into our lives for a very, very specific purpose, for us to get very specific lessons so that we could become these perfect people that we are going to ultimately become, so that we can learn certain lessons, so that we can change certain lives, right? So we pick up on their limiting beliefs and we take them and we hold them as our own. So we have limiting beliefs that come from parents. We also have limiting beliefs that come from all the people around us. We have way more people in our lives that we care about besides just our parents as we become older. So we can pick up on beliefs from our teachers, our coaches, our friends. We could pick up stuff from any sort of like religious situation that you're in, because, we always look up to preachers, priests, rabbis, all these different religious figures, because we are told that they're the ultimate authority, right? Like they studied all of this stuff, and so we have to believe what they say, and all, they know what's good, right? They're preaching this book, whatever the book is, that has all the information, has all the answers. They've studied it, so let's know what they know, right? They know what's best. And then we say, oh, the coach, they know what's best because maybe they played college football or college basketball or college volleyball, whatever it is. They're the expert on sports, so I'm going to listen to them on what they say with that. Their word is born. I trust them. Then we go to our friends and we listen to what our friends say to us, because the friends are, very important to us throughout our entire lives, and what they think about us really matters. And so we're going to then worry about what our friends think about us, and we're going to put their opinions very high up on a little pedestal, and saying, yeah, all these people, they're all very important to me. And because they've told me that they're the authority over and over again, I'm going to believe it. So we've got our parents and we've got all these other people. And then on top of that, we've got the social media, we've got the television, we've got the music, we've got all of these different things that are also very intentionally programmed to program us. So if you think about it and you are scrolling your Instagram feed or your TikTok feed, those things that you see, you will notice that you start seeing the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Eat this way, talk this way, walk this way, dress this way. And they're going to be the same things, these same people that are telling you the same things over and over and over again. And it's done exactly the same way in the news cycles. It's done exactly the same way in music. There are these things that are contagions. They are like a group mind virus, okay? And these are things that are intentionally put out so that humans on a very basic level are all hearing the exact same things over and over and over again. And we hear about the preachers and the coaches and the teachers and all these people who are authorities, and we've been told over and over and over again that we have to listen to them. We have to do what they say. We have to listen to them because they are the authority. And then we have all the stuff that our parents, whom we live with, and those things that they feel are constantly emotionally being bombarded onto us. So we have, it seems almost like a system that was set up to make us fail, because we have all of these other people's stuff on ours. And one thing that I wanted to just kind of go into real quick on a little side note is these beliefs are just things that we have heard over and over and over again. And all that a belief is, and this is a really amazing thing to realize, all that a belief is something that you have heard over and over again. And because you have heard it so many times, you take it on as your own. It is not yours. It is something that you have picked up along the way from one of these many different places and taken it on as your own. Source and higher self didn't come put you on this little earth to have these limiting beliefs. You are going to pick them up and learn how to overcome them through this lifetime, and then come back to the realization through this learning process that all of their junk is theirs. You are not meant to have those limiting beliefs. And these limiting beliefs are here to show you, like, okay, I have been thinking, feeling, and believing a way about myself that is not source truth. It is not the truth of my higher self. These things that I'm feeling, that I am not good enough, I am not special enough, I am just like everybody else, I'm not good at math, I'm not beautiful, I'm not smart, I'm not strong, I'm not capable, I'm not confident. These are things that get programmed into us by the people around us. These are not source truth. And that is a really cool thing to realize, is that these are things that we just have heard over and over and over again. And all we have to do is understand that and then replace them with beliefs that do serve us. I am more than smart enough. I am the most gorgeous person on the planet. I am so strong. I am so confident. I am the most capable. I have all the things that I need within me to be able to conquer the world, to change my life and change the life of so many others. So it's just a shift in perception of how you're feeling about yourself with these things that other people have put there. So these limiting beliefs come from all of these different areas, and they are not yours. And so what happens is we take these limiting beliefs that we've picked up along the way, and we hold them as our own, knowing now that they are not your own, but we take them and we hold them as truth. They are not truth, but we take them as that. And then the thoughts and the feelings that we are holding with those beliefs are the energy that we are sending out. So we're sending out all of these instructions to the universe, to the world, to the people, places, situations, and circumstances around us from all these other people that are limited and holding us down. We are now that caged rosebush. We are completely blocked out from the true source knowing, from the light, from the source of pure energy that we need in order to thrive and flourish. So our goal in this lifetime is to be able to get into these limiting beliefs that we're holding and clear them out, to break out of the cage, to, bust it out. We're kind of like chipping away as we find all of these limiting beliefs of this cage, and we're getting these shimmers of sunshine that are coming in and allowing us to grow to where eventually we want to just like be fully free of this cage and thriving in all of our source intended beauty and gorgeousness. We're smelling good, looking good, thriving in this as this gorgeous rose bush. So we want to be able to get into our creator fields, and with my intuition and the way that I have been able to train it so perfectly and so precisely to be able to read all these different electromagnetic fields that are all around us, you can get into your creator field and see like, okay, I'm experiencing this thing in my life and I really don't want it. Right now, you could be feeling like, okay, it's really hard for me to get money right now. This is, something that you could say, I'm feeling this way, and let's say it's to get money right now, and I'm having a really hard time getting money. Well, what you would then want to do is be able to use your intuition to get into the creator field, to tap into the energy of the creator field and see what is the thing that is creating this? What is the belief that I am holding about myself that is not true, that is creating this experience that I don't want, that I want to change, that is not desirable for me? I want to have an abundance of money. I want to feel like there's so much money all around me. What is creating that? And there can be so many different things that are creating that for so many different people. And each person has their own different little flavor of a limiting belief. But under the big umbrella of it, the big idea of it is usually that you're not special enough, or that you aren't worthy, or you're not seeing your value. And you have these beliefs that you're holding on to within yourself that you're not enough, that I don't have what it takes to be somebody who gets all the good stuff in life, because you have picked up on these thoughts, feelings, and beliefs of everybody else around you, and social media and the news and movies and songs. And you have all of this stuff that's caging you in, bogging you down, and holding you back from all of your true potentials. So I just want for you guys this week to be thinking about, like, how have I picked up on all the stuff from everybody else all around me? What do my parents think? What are some of the beliefs that they hold about themselves? And have I kind of picked up on that too? And then think about who have been like super influential people in your lives. Have they been, a coach, a teacher, a preacher, a priest, a mentor, even your friends? Like, what beliefs do they hold about themselves that I might be picking up on that just really don't ring true to me? And then think about, what is the music I listen to? What are the TV shows that I watch? What who are the people that I follow on my social media? That one is a major one, because we spend a ridiculous amount of time watching other people doing things, especially on social media. How are they, how do they feel? Because however they feel, you're picking up on their emotions. Just by watching them on TikTok, you're picking up on their emotions, and they're picking up on other people's emotions who are around them. You don't know who their friends are. You don't know who they're hanging out with. So everything that they are emotionally attached to, you are then in turn becoming emotionally attached to that as well, picking up on it and taking it on as your own. So think about that. And this is a really cool time to use this information as an empowering step to go in, see who you maybe are following, see what you've been watching, see what these thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are of the people who are very influential in your life, and then take stock and be like, how do they feel about themselves? How do they think about themselves? What have they told me to think about myself? And then see if those things feel expansive. Do they make you feel like a beautiful, thriving rose bush? Or do they make you feel like they have put a cage on you? Do they make you feel like they are limiting you? Do they make you feel good, or do they make you feel bad? Do they make you feel heavy, or do they make you feel light? These are two very strong indicators of what sort of things that you're picking up on from the people that you are being exposed to, maybe that you are intentionally exposing yourself to or unintentionally exposing yourself to. But now is a really good time to start thinking about, how are the people that I am surrounding myself with, whether they be, in real life, or they be people who are on your screens or in your ears, and how is the information that they are giving me making me feel? Do I feel good after I've listened to it? Or do I feel in a darker, deeper emotional state after I'm done listening to it? And then start kind of like editing. Because again, you always have control. You don't have to watch those people on TikTok. You don't have to watch that TV show. You don't have to listen to that song. You don't even have to listen to what your friends are saying. You get to pick your friends. That's like a beautiful thing too in life. Like you get to choose who the people are that you expose yourself to. So taking this information, really start to think about like, okay, if I were curating this gorgeous, perfect life that I wanted, are these the feelings that I want to have after I get done being exposed to this person or this song or this feed, whatever it is? Think about that this week and maybe take a little time to start curating your life as if you were, creating this beautiful like Pinterest board or whatever. My daughter's been doing that lately and making these gorgeous, like aesthetically pleasing, perfectly picked things. They're these mood board type situations. I don't know what they're actually called. But she takes a lot of time to do that. And that's something that we get to do with our lives. We get to take the time. We get to take the effort because it is the most important thing in your life. Well, not the most. I'd say it's like second most. You want to see who these people are that you're exposing yourselves to because they have a lot of influence on us. The most influential person in life is you. You are the one who has the most influence over you. But whenever we have all these people around us who have all of these very strong emotions and feelings and thoughts about you or about themselves, we're picking up on it. We are constantly reading all of these other people's EMFs, their creator fields. Their creator fields are constantly in communication with ours. So we have to be very picky, very selective, very curating of our lives. Who's in it? Who are we allowing in it? And who are we saying, yeah, come on in, be a part of my energy? We need to be as selective as my daughter is, making these beautiful little boards and making these beautiful lives. We get to pick it. Do we want their energy or do we not? Is it important or is it not? So think about that this week. How important are the people that we have in our lives, whether they're real or not, in our real life, or if they're on a screen somewhere or in our speakers? Think about that and realize how big of an influence these people could be having over your existence. And also, please go into the show notes. I have links there to sign up for the newsletter for exclusive events, live webinars, and live Q&As, energy work, all the fun things there. And I also have my link for free reads. If you are interested in a free mini read, they are so much fun. So please sign up for one of those, and I will see you again next week. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous week.